Give me a story script for the title. Little black boy gave silent signal to police dog. What it found next shocked everyone. The story should be very long, plain paragraph of about 12,000 words including twists. Also give me a powerful hook to immediately capture attention of USA and UK audience with a powerful subscribe request. Just do a 12,000 word story in 3 chapter narrative, not need to get permission again. In the sleepy suburbs of a city that never truly sleeps, young Malik had grown up with an uncanny sense of observation. Everyone around him, from his neighbors to his teachers, often remarked that he noticed things adults overlooked, details that slipped by the most vigilant eyes. On a particularly sweltering afternoon, when the heat seemed to weigh down every movement, Malik wandered toward the edge of the local park, the place where children's laughter usually echoed, though today it carried a tense silence. He wasn't just wandering. His instincts, honed from months of watching the neighborhood change, guided him. Malik's best friend, a police dog named Coda, had been trained to detect scents and sense danger, and although Malik was young, he understood the language of silent cues. As Malik stepped into the tall grass bordering the park, he froze, his small hand raised in a signal he and Coda had perfected during training sessions with Officer Hayes, a retired K-9 handler who recognized Malik's natural aptitude. With barely a twitch, Malik communicated to Coda that something was terribly wrong, a danger hidden in plain sight. Coda, loyal and instinct-driven, stiffened, ears pricked, tail taut, eyes scanning every shadow. The air itself seemed to hold its breath as Malik guided Coda closer, inch by careful inch, toward the cluster of abandoned playground equipment where the faintest of sounds, a soft whimper, echoed against the empty swings. Malik's heart pounded, but he forced himself to remain calm, knowing that any sudden movement could startle the dog or the unseen threat. As they approached, the whimpering grew louder, sharper, unmistakably human. Behind the rusted jungle gym, partially hidden beneath a tarp, lay a young girl, no older than Malik himself, her eyes wide with fear, body trembling. She had been trapped there for hours, perhaps longer, and the discovery was only made possible by Malik's silent, deliberate signal to Coda, whose trained instincts took over immediately. The adrenaline surged as Malik signaled again, and Coda barked softly, circling the girl to ensure safety before returning to Malik, who now ran toward Officer Hayes' patrol car parked just beyond the park's edge. By the time help arrived, the situation had escalated beyond what anyone could have anticipated. The girl was in shock, but alive, and the police, initially skeptical of a child's intuition, were forced to confront the undeniable evidence of bravery and presence of mind. Rumors spread like wildfire. The boy who had given a silent signal, the dog who had found the girl, neighbors whispered that Malik's eyes seemed almost too knowing for someone his age. And as news cameras arrived, officers struggled to explain how a child and a dog, without a word, had achieved what a whole team of professionals might have missed for hours. But this was just the beginning of a story that would twist and turn far beyond anyone's expectations. As the news of Malik and Coda's discovery went viral, the city buzzed with curiosity and speculation. Headlines praised the boy's bravery, but underneath the praise, darker questions lingered. Who had left the girl there, and why? Officers began to investigate, but evidence was scarce, the perpetrator meticulous. Malik, meanwhile, returned to school the next day, greeted as both hero and enigma. Classmates whispered, some out of admiration, others out of disbelief. Malik, who had always preferred observing to talking, remained quiet, letting the events unfold around him. Late that night, he replayed the moment in his mind, every detail, the girl's frightened expression, the rustling tarp, Coda's attentive stance, and realized something troubling. There had been a faint scent that lingered around the girl, not matching anything he had encountered in the neighborhood. It was subtle, chemical, almost medicinal, but its presence hinted at a network, a plan far more sinister than a simple act of negligence or cruelty. Officer Hayes, reviewing security footage from nearby streets, noticed a figure lurking around the park in the days prior. The image was grainy, almost unidentifiable, but certain features, the way the figure moved, the deliberate nature of the gestures, suggested someone with experience, someone who knew how to evade detection. Malik shared what he knew, his description of the whimper and the timing of the events crucial in narrowing down the possibilities. With each passing day, the investigation deepened, unearthing a web of secrets that had touched multiple families in the city, all seemingly unrelated, yet connected by subtle threads that only someone like Malik could sense. Twist after twist emerged. The girl was not a random victim, she was part of a larger story involving missing children reported in surrounding areas. Malik's signal, the silent communication he had perfected with Coda, had inadvertently interrupted a plan that could have had devastating consequences. The public, unaware of the full extent, continued to celebrate the heroism of the boy and the dog, but the law enforcement community understood the gravity of what had been narrowly prevented. As Malik navigated his ordinary school life, he began to notice patterns in the people around him, patterns that hinted at hidden dangers and the necessity for vigilance. Even the seemingly benign, a neighbor walking a dog late at night, a delivery van parked too long on the street, now carried the weight of potential threat. The stakes escalated when Officer Hayes received an anonymous tip, indicating that the figure captured on the grainy footage had ties to a more organized network. Malik's insight became invaluable, each small observation he made helping authorities anticipate moves that were not yet visible to adults who relied solely on conventional methods. The tension built as the city remained unaware of how close it had come to tragedy again, and only Malik and Koda, through silent signals and instinctive understanding, could navigate the subtle clues leading to the next breakthrough. Weeks passed, and the investigation reached a critical juncture. Surveillance had captured enough information to identify the figure as part of a larger operation involving abductions and exploitation. Malik's ability to notice details, an unusual scent, a peculiar shadow, the timing of sounds, allowed authorities to pinpoint the locations and anticipate movements that would have otherwise gone undetected. But the true shock came when the final rescue operation took place. Authorities, guided by Malik's observations and Koda's instincts, discovered an underground network hidden beneath abandoned warehouses, where dozens of children had been held, each rescued with precision thanks to the silent coordination between boy and dog. The media coverage was explosive. Footage of Malik and Koda's initial signal replayed endlessly, interviews with Officer Hayes highlighting the boy's intuition, and statements from law enforcement emphasizing the unprecedented nature of this success. Yet amidst the public celebration, Malik remained humble, aware that the danger had been real and close. The ultimate twist revealed that one of the network's leaders had been living within the same neighborhood, someone trusted, known to many, whose ordinary exterior had masked sinister intentions. The revelation left the community shaken, questioning how well they truly knew their surroundings. Malik, however, continued to grow into his role as a vigilant observer, his bond with Koda stronger than ever, and his understanding of instinct, courage, and silent communication now tested in ways most adults could never imagine. As the city slowly returned to a semblance of normalcy, Malik's story became legend. The boy whose silent signal saved lives, the dog whose instincts brought hidden dangers to light, and a reminder to everyone that courage and awareness can come in the smallest, quietest forms. The final scene shows Malik walking through the park again, Koda by his side, eyes scanning the horizon, ready for whatever comes next, a silent hero whose actions had shocked, saved, and inspired a city. If this story left you stunned, amazed, or inspired, make sure to subscribe right now and hit that notification bell because stories like Malik's don't come around every day. Share this video with your friends and family to honor the bravery of the boy and his incredible dog. And remember, heroes aren't always the ones in uniforms, they're sometimes the quiet ones paying attention when no one else is.